Hi, welcome back. Candace here again, and this is lesson 2. And for lesson 2, this one is all about creating your own custom paper with stamps. So here what I'm going to do is I have a double page 6x8 spread of my son, and this one is all about adventure and exploring. And so what I decided to do is I had some ephemera pieces from one of the kits, and it was a big circle, and so that really inspired me to create a bunch of custom circles of pattern paper. So I have two stamps here from the shop. One is a traveler's notebook one, and the other one I believe is from a um, pocket life kit. And I cut out circles in 2 inches, in 1 1/4, and in 1 inch. And what I went ahead and did is took some black StazOn ink and I stamped these sentiments from these stamp sets onto the pattern paper. Now, when you are doing this, a few tips to keep the sentiment readable and to understand what is being said is first, I always like to make sure that I get the entire sentiment somewhere on the circle or the square. You can do journal cards, you can do entire 12 by 12 sheets of paper. It's totally up to you, but I would just make sure that you have in at least one spot the entire sentiment or icon that you're wanting to see, just so whoever's looking at the page can easily see what is being said there, or see what the image is. So you can see when I was stamping, I started in the center somewhere and did the whole sentiment. I made sure that the whole sentiment could fit on those little circles, and then I went ahead and filled in around with little pieces of it. Now, what I like to do here is I cut out the circles first, and I like to do that because then I can stamp off the edges of the paper, and this really helps to make the custom paper or embellishment look organic, like it was made to be that way. So for instance, if I had just stamped within the circle the entire time, then one, it would have been very hard to fit. It probably would have looked very jumbled, and it would have looked like I was trying to make everything squish and fit inside that circle. Where now, by stamping off the edges and varying where I'm stamping in the circle, so some sentiments are half, some sentiments are whole, some are going off the left and right, it really makes the paper look like it was just made that way and I had cut it. And so just again, just very much organic. So what I did there is I took a tag from the ephemera pack and I ran that through my typewriter, and now I'm going through all these circles after I had found where I wanted to place them on the right side of my spread, and I'm going to put them in clusters. So I want to make sure that I have balance in color across the entire spread. So as you can see, I have 3 spots of yellow in each cluster across the spread, and then I have my custom paper pattern papers that I made, 3 of those scattered across the spread, and I have 2 pieces of green. So I have the 2 pattern papers and then the geotag. And what's funny about this is so often when I am creating layouts, I used to, years ago when I first started scrapbooking, remind myself to do this, and now it is just, I don't even remind myself to do it. I just find that I have done it and I look over my spread, and usually I won't stop until I have done that, because I usually keep thinking, oh, there's something wrong, until I have done the rule of 3, or and you know what, scrapbooking, there are no rules, but I think visually I usually can't stop until I feel like it's balanced. And for me, usually stuff feels more balanced when I have worked in threes. So, but again, in scrapbooking, there are no rules, so you can do whatever you want. But usually, that is just something that I usually like to do. So here I went off the edges again because that just makes it look a little bit more organic and stuff interacting with the edges of the spread. And so what I went ahead and did is cut off the edges, and now I'm just checking to see if I want to add any more circles or if I am ready to start embellishing. So now I'm taking those puffy stickers that I had collected from the ephemera packs, and I am just going to adhere those around this spread. And I'm looking across the spread. I liked to cluster I liked the look of clustering similar colors together. And then I had these beautiful cork clouds that I just had to put into the spread because they're so perfect. I think they're my favorite cork pieces we have ever had in a kit. So they were just perfect for this spread. So I was excited to be able to use them. So I just tucked that under the little circles that I had popped up. I'm going to cut off the edge, and that completes the spread. So there is lesson 2, creating your own pattern paper. Again, this can be done with little pieces of paper, journal cards, 12 by 12 sheets of paper, whatever works for you, whatever you are needing for your project. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you in lesson 3. Have a great day. Bye-bye.